Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Energy Booster podcast. This is once again Janice Padilla, and today we are embarking on a special exploration of generosity. Not just an act, but also a way of living. And of course, it'll be inspired by the timeless lessons from the Bible. Join me as we uncover the grace in giving and how it can transform not only the lives of others, but our own as well. You see, giving is a very challenging act, but before we proceed, let me just share what I have on my window right now. It's snowing in Tennessee, and it's just reminding me how generous God is in my life. Never in my life that I have imagined that I will be here I will actually move here in United States of America. In the past, I can just experience or I can just see snow through movies, and I was just really wondering how it would be. And yeah, God is so good that I don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll just go out or just open my curtain, and there you go. The snow is before my eyes. It's beautiful, actually. It's so beautiful. And yeah, if you don't work, it's really beautiful because the truth is, if there is a pros, there's also there's also cons. And that will be, when you are scheduled to drive, you're scheduled to work, then you need to drive. And the road is very challenging, and it's a very, yeah, I don't like it when I drive through the snow. I remember when I was still in North Dakota, we would have snow for several months, and it's a winter ready state, so they would actually plow the snow before we get into the road. But here in Tennessee, it's not like that. We only get snow here once in a while. So the state is not actually ready for this. And yeah, there's plenty. I can see my road right now. It's a very, I can see the thick snow. I think it's actually now at 6 to 8 inches, if not 12, because we've been snowing here since last night. But yeah, let's appreciate life. When you get to experience snow, it's really beautiful. It's beautiful. Like there's no words that I can truly use to describe how magical it is. And it reminds me of how generous God is in our lives, that we get to experience different seasons, and that includes winter. So there you go. Let's proceed to our topic today. In the Bible, generosity is more than an action. It's a testament of faith, testament to faith and love. Because when you love, you should actually give. You give what you have. And giving is an act of love. And with faith, if you don't actually give, then I don't believe that you have faith as well, or you believe that, you know, while you provide or share what you have for others or to others, then God will eventually provide your needs as well, that you don't have to worry. If you give, God will provide for you. So it's actually, yeah, an act of faith and love. In Acts 20:35, Jesus himself said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And if you actually agree, because I totally agree with this, it's more fulfilling to give than to just receive. This profound statement sets the tone for our understanding to Christian or of Christian generosity. It's not about the amount we give, but the heart with which we give it. If our heart is really willing when we give, because sometimes there would be moments, human as we are, that we give, but our heart is not really into it. So, another powerful example comes from the story of the widow's offering in Mark 12:41 to 44. That despite her poverty, if you go to that verse and read it, you will see that this widow was actually poor, but she gave all she had, teaching us that true generosity isn't measured by the size of the gift, but the spirit of the giver. Because again, if we give yet our heart is not into it, then there is no point of giving. No matter how much amount we give or how much we give, if we don't really, we're not happy about that, then I think we'd rather not give because it's not counted as being generous. Generosity has the power to change lives, both for the giver and the receiver. Yeah, when you give, the receiver will actually, experience another level of growth or another level of experience. Or, if you give money, then the receiver will actually be able to buy what he or she needed to buy that day. Or if you give something like, when you give advice, when you coach, when anything, when you serve, that's part of giving, you will actually change the life of someone that you shared something. But it's not only that the giver will take advantage of that, you yourself will get more than what the receiver will get. Because that feeling that, you feel, I mean, like, I don't know about you, but when I give, it just felt so good. Sometimes I give not for them, but I give for me to experience the satisfaction, the fulfillment that I was able to give. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 17, it says, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. You see, there is a promise that when you give to the poor, God will repay you for what you did. This verse illustrates that our acts of kindness are not just to the benefit of others, but they are also seen and rewarded by God. Be it, material things or health or emotional, or whatever it is that God can pour into your life. You will never know because God will also bless those who bless others. Let's not forget the story of the Good Samaritan in Luke 10:25 to 37. It teaches us that our neighbor is anyone in need, and our generosity should know no bounds of nationality or creed. We should not discriminate. We should give to everyone, regardless of their color, regardless of their size, regardless of who they are. We are called to give to everyone. So, how can we live out this biblical call to generosity in our daily lives? I know it's very challenging, especially that we also have our own needs. Giving can be difficult sometimes, but measure it measures our faith, our belief, and our love to our provider. And it starts with a mindset shift. Let's consider the example of Zacchaeus in Luke 19:1 to 10. His encounter with Jesus led to a radical change in how he viewed his wealth and possession. He gave half of his possessions to the poor and repaid those he had wronged. This shows us that generosity is not just about giving away things, it's about a transformation of the heart. We can start small. We can volunteer our time, share resources, or simply offer a kind word or a listening ear. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is a reflection of God's love. As we close today's episode, I encourage you to reflect on the words of 2 Corinthians 9:7. And it says, each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Let's embrace the joy of giving and make generosity a cornerstone of our lives. Let's practice generosity every day and make it a top value in our lives. Thank you for joining me today. May you be blessed as you bless others. Until next time, keep growing in faith and love and generosity. I love you and God bless.